Hey guys, my name is Nora Franch, and welcome to the podcast Grateful Blessed Mess, daily reflections for those in the 12 steps. I am a fellow 12-stepper and certified mindset coach, and I am here to introduce you to the value of mindset coaching in your 12-step journey. So if you feel like you are stuck in the steps, if you're slipping and sliding with your abstinence, mindset coaching may help you as it did me, and you can find me at catholicmindsetcoaching.com. These episodes are meant to invite you in to consider the truths of 12-step wisdom and to join in the very real struggle of living them in action. I hope that it feels almost like a mini meeting, and I invite you to contribute your own share on the Grateful Blessedness Facebook group to keep the discussion going. My comments are based on my own experience, so feel free to take what you like and leave the rest. But my hope is to encourage you on your own daily 12-step journey. As they say, you cannot stay clean on yesterday's shower. So without further ado, let's begin. Hi, guys. The title of today's reflection is On Point. It is from Daily Reflections, page 149, and the title is One Day at a Time. So here we go. Above all, take it one day at a time. That is from the book As Bill Sees It, page 11. And I'll read the reflection. Why do I kid myself that I must stay away from a drink for only one day when I know perfectly well I must never drink again as long as I live? I am not kidding myself because one day at a time is probably the only way I can reach the long-range objective of staying sober. If I determine that I shall never drink again as long as I live, I set myself up. How can I be sure I won't drink when I have no idea what the future may hold? On a day-at-a-time basis, I am confident I can stay away from a drink for one day. So I set out with confidence. At the end of the day, I have the reward of achievement. Achievement feels good, and that makes me want more. I like the phrase or the understanding, I guess, of that I heard in program that my higher power can only be in the present, not the past or the future, and that's why I have to stay in today. And I've heard that from other disciplines and philosophies as well. And I think there's really something to that because whenever I actually make the choice of whether or not to indulge in my substance of choice, I'm only doing that in the present. The only way I can lose my sobriety is if I lose it in the present. And the only way I can maintain it is if I continue to choose to maintain it in this moment. And there we have the one day at a time. Now, I remember in the beginning, this person seems pretty confident that they could stay away from the drink for a day. And in the beginning, I was not that confident, and I couldn't stay away from my substance of choice for I wasn't sure if I could for minutes or hours or days or anything. And so a day at a time had to start out for me as a minute at a time or a phone call at a time or, something to really break it down to make it much smaller because in the beginning, a day feels like forever. And 30 days was so fantastic. That 30-day coin, I have several 30-day coins, but I will say that 30-day coin feels so good. That is so significant. Now, you may have also caught on that the name of this podcast is A Day at a Time, very similar to One Day at a Time. Same indication, same meaning, but it is actually in honor of that. The reflection I often use, A Day at a Time, which is a very original daily reflection that is near and dear to my heart because of how clearly it discusses and identifies my character defects. And so actually that's why I'm so fond of that book too, because character defect identification was something that was so hard for me and that I think really held me up in program. And that's something that, again, coaching really helped me finally put my finger on it, and something that I do with people as well in a loving way. I promise, in a loving way, but in a real way, to kind of draw your attention to this is what's going on in your life. Do you want to keep it, or do you want to, give it to your higher power? So I wish I had this phenomenal podcast entry for the excerpt titled One Day at a Time, but I don't. Darn it. The perfectionist in me just wants to scrap this whole thing and come up with something incredible, but that's not where I am today. So maybe you're in a different place. Maybe you can add to this. Maybe you can embellish it on your own, or maybe you can communicate it in some way with the community that you're in. It would be cool to start a community of our own. What I want this to be is like the start of a meeting. I want this to be the first share in the daily meeting of your life. I want this to be just, I'm the beginning of the circle. We go around right to left or whatever, clockwise, counterclockwise. I'm just the first one to go. And sometimes that's harder. Sometimes other people say stuff and you're like, yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking, but they put it in words. And I think I'm missing that today. I wish I had someone to do that for me today. So I am going first, so I'm only able to say what I say, but I can be convicted that someone else can, from what I'm saying, springboard off that to something really incredible. And also reach out to me if there's something that you want to include or want to say. And in that we can share and have a back and forth and build that community as well. So with that, I pass. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. If you feel that mindset coaching could help you on your 12-step journey, please feel free to reach out and find me at catholicmindsetcoaching.com. But more than that, it's important to me to give listeners like yourself a place where you do not need to feel alone on your 12-step journey. And for that reason, I've created a Facebook group. It's called Grateful Blessed Mess. And it's a place where listeners can go to add their own commentary on the share for the day, in addition to my own, and for us just to have a conversation or start a back and forth where people can find support in their 12-step journey. This is not a replacement for 12-step work. This is something outside of the 12 steps. It is simply something that has a heart for the 12 steps and those who are in it. And so, welcome. If you're here, chances are you may also be a bit of a mess. And I hope that you can learn to find some gratitude in the blessings that have come from your messes.